Didn't you start your supplement business in the 90s?
We started in the 1990s because it became obvious to me that if I wanted to have the purity in supplements that I wanted, I would have to make my own. And it also became obvious that if I wanted to have the formulas, I was very interested in putting together optimal formulas for various things. And to put together the formula with the optimal amount of nutrients that you can get into a couple pills, the optimal forms of those nutrients, and the right balances between nutrients. And we have mental clarity formula, vision formula, life caps, anti-aging formula. In order to get those formulas really the way I wanted them, nobody else was making them the way I was. So we made our own unique formulas and put them basically in larger bottles, typically with 180 capsules for economics reasons, to be able to market them at we think very, very fair prices. Couldn't do that through other companies, so we created our own and have a very unique line of supplements. Organs and glands from New Zealand. Our cod liver oils are really unique in the world. We've got things that we think are very special, and that was the reason for creating the company.
Dr. Ron, I know you deal mostly with people, but can some of your supplements be used on our pets? Say, for instance, our horses, can they take glucosamine? Can our dog, a cat, take cod liver oil?
We've had quite a number of people who use glucosamine for their horses and say they get good results. And I've given cod liver oil to our cats, and they seem to like it and thrive on it. We've had lots of people who use cod liver oil for their dogs. And we've had a number of people over the years who used some of the, basically the medicines that have been used in treatment of tumors, for tumors in dogs, with success. Prolonging life for, in several cases, 2, 3, 4 years beyond the expectation when the dog developed the tumor. So we've seen some very good things with using supplements with animals. You have pancreas for one dog, I believe it's up in Canada, and one dog that survived for several years after being told, the owner was told the dog was going to die in a couple months with a tumor. And of course, pancreas supplements are very important for any kind of alternative program for tumors. So the short answer, yes, supplements can be very beneficial for animals when judiciously used. Any other questions on the 1990s?
Dr. Ron's UltraPure is known as the additive-free company. Can you tell me what the big deal is about additives?
We don't use any additives at all in our supplements because they're not necessary if you produce supplements carefully enough. The basic additive that's used in all other supplements is magnesium stearate or stearic acid, which is a fatty substance that's used to coat the raw materials so that they'll flow through the machines faster in making the products. If you run the machines slowly enough, you can make supplements without those additives. We make them slower. It's a little more expensive to make them that way. And so we don't have to use the additive. The coating makes it harder for the nutrients to dissolve rapidly in the stomach, and that is invariably has to affect the rate of dissolution and the way that the nutrients are utilized. We think it's best to just make it 100% pure. Why not? The rest of the industry seems to disagree. I think it's primarily a money thing. It's just easier and faster to make supplements with additives than without. Oh, and one last thing about additives, of course, we use no gluten or soy or starch or various other extraneous ingredients that a lot of companies use as fillers in their supplements. Nothing. There's nothing in our supplements except the pure nutrients that are stated plainly on the labels. So next question.
I was wondering, what is the sourcing for your supplements?
We source mostly in the United States and Europe, a few things from Japan and South Korea. Frankly, we don't source from China because too many problems have occurred with materials from China. So we specifically avoid that.
But you get glands from New Zealand.
Oh, of course, yes, good point. Our organs and glands are from New Zealand, and our cod liver oil is from Arctic fish, and it's made in the United States.
Ron, what supplements do you take on a daily basis?
What supplements do I take on a daily basis? I never miss cod liver oil. I try to take Life Caps and Pancreas and Vision Quest and Deep Thought because I'm not as young as I would like to be, so all those sort of anti-aging nutrients. I take our Doc's Friendly Flora every day because it keeps my gut feeling really good. I take butter oil most days, and I take iodine complex a lot of days. I've got a few more in the cabinet that I hit here and there. CalMag, Doc's Best.
That's quite a list.
But I don't take them all every day.
When do you take them? AM, PM, at different times during the day?
Anytime, as long as it's before a meal rather than after, and with lots of water. I mean, you take supplements on top of a meal, they're going to repeat on you. They're going to sit there on top of all that food, and it doesn't work as well. Much better before a meal, and with plenty of water.
Last thing, you didn't mention GMO when you're talking about some of the corporate responsibilities that were happening. What is your take on GMOs?
Well, GMO is another example of the horrible things that corporations are doing to the food supply. It's just typical of the idiocy that the government colludes with industry about. None of our products have any GMO in them.
You didn't mention Lyme disease, even although it was in the title of this.
Well, because you didn't ask me
section?
about it yet.
Okay. So why is it in the title?
It's in the title because I got Lyme disease in 2002 and have been dealing with it at one level or another ever since. I function pretty well, close to 100%, but I have a few symptoms here and there. I have a headache once a month or so, and I get a little low in energy 1 or 2 days a month. Lyme disease is tough, and it's there, but I find that by carefully controlling my diet and using supplements judiciously, I'm able to control it. And I've helped a number of other people with the problem as well. And there are some specific herbs and natural medicines that are very useful that I won't go into here, but people are free to email me or blog me about. Okay, we just opened up an Organ Delight capsule, and here's Gree. Here's Gree going for it. Now that's how a cat feels about organs and glands. He's licking it right off my hand. He loves it. I might have to get him another one because he's gonna start talking to me in a minute if I don't, and telling me that he wants a little more. He's just scarfing that right up. So instinct intact, like my T-shirt says, my shirt says. And here's an animal with his instinct intact. Who needs cat cookies or whatever they call them? If you got a cat and she won't dance, fill her up on Organ Delight and watch her go. Okay, you like that there, buddy, don't you? We know you do.